title's not bad. It's very descriptive of the case, but it's kind of fun to think of. It's not right. It's hard to come up with these. All right. Anyone else? Another title that you can brainstorm on?
I had an interesting patient. Actually, I shouldn't have admitted him. On the CCU, he's a gentleman who had basically had been without medical care for about 10 years, presented with general lethargy and decompensated heart failure. It's found to be severely hypothyroid with TSH of 270. And was initiated on IV levothyroxine and improved on that. He's currently, I think the last echo showed an improvement from an EF of 15 to now 25. That's after 2 months of high dose levothyroxine.
So do you have a thought of a title?
What's the name or what's the connection to the thing?
Well, I thought it was interesting just in terms of like severe decompensated hypothyroidism, all the symptoms of time he had, just at the end, anything you could think of in terms of symptoms, he had it. Severely, he had effusions, he had severely decompensated heart failure, all thought to be secondary to hypothyroidism. So I thought it was just interesting to see severely decompensated hypothyroidism and what the effects can be.
Any help?
Don't let the thyroid be the end of you. I don't know. I don't know.
It'd be like, what now, Hashimoto?
Oh, nice.
I like that. That's pretty good.
So we have a couple of fun. So is it kind of sounding fun to you now? It's not like this onerous thing, but it might be worth brainstorming with a couple of your colleagues or your attendings. And it's not like you can't say, decompensated heart failure in a patient with severe hypothyroidism. That describes your case perfectly fine. It's also kind of nice to, when you want to know what he had for her title and they wouldn't publish it. Let's see if I can remember now. It was hot showers and marijuana, oh my. and Mayo Clinical Proceedings said we can't publish. It was good though for presenting at a regional conference, because that's kind of what you're wanting to do. But just beware, we had to change it to cannabinoid hyperemesis leading to compulsive bleeding. Again, very descriptive, but not as fun. Right? All right. So now you have a sense of what a title looks like. So learning objectives, what do you want your reader to know? Why should they even buy? So you captured them with your title, and the masquerading Mets, and the cockroach, and the, what did you say?
The otoscope and the ectoskeleton.
So you got someone's attention now. So now what are you going to do? Well, you want to tell them why it's important to listen to what you have to say. So when you talk about learning objectives, you want to be very just succinct of this is what our case is going to present. That's why when we're talking about what are your cases, we want to say, the who cares question that we talked about earlier. Who cares? So to understand, to recognize, to discuss the benefits. So anyone have a different case, or we can use the same case to help with learning objectives? John, you have something?
Yeah, so a 70-year-old woman who came in after syncope, and her hemoglobin was 3.5, and she had said that she was having menstrual bleeds about 4 times a year. And so we eventually figured out that she had, she was bleeding through her uterus, and we hadn't had the final cytology, but it was like either a malignancy or like a bleeding thyroid, but I'm pretty sure it was a malignancy actually.
All right. So what would be you want to teach someone about your patient, which is a pretty severe case.
Yeah.
So what would you want someone to understand?
I think one of the more interesting things is just that patients may not realize that their chronic bleed is not pathological, and they may not think of anything of it, and then present with some other symptom as a result of that.
Okay. So how would you teach your colleagues about something that you learned?
What do you mean by the question? How would I
So
teach
what
them?
would be your learning objective? So you're gonna present this patient to someone as, I think we should learn about this patient because it brought to light something. What did it bring to light to you that you want someone else to learn from?
Perhaps that patients have different thresholds for seeking medical
Okay,
care.
good. So to recognize patients have different thresholds seeking medical care. The common one is, my husband never complains of pain. He's saying he has pain. We should listen to him, kind of thing, right? So if someone never says a peep about anything and they start to mention something to you, listen.
So maybe for your case, to recognize that patients may substantially underestimate blood loss or I don't know, something along those lines. That's sort of something you said you learned from that, right?
Anyone have another case?
I had a patient when I was in ICU. He's a 29-year-old guy who came in with an empyema after being treated for bronchitis about a month ago. And then we had similar situation in our service now. A 59-year-old guy who was treated for pneumonia about a month ago came back again and had an empyema and required decortication. And I was thinking how it brings to light that we should take pneumonia seriously, and people should, if they're being treated as an outpatient, need follow-up chest x-rays, closer follow-ups before things go.
Okay, now put it into a learning statement, a learning goal, learning objective, using some of this verbiage.